right. Happy birthday, everybody. It's your present has arrived. Being in the present is what it is. Today is a gift. Today is Barefoot Friday. Normally on Fridays we have an interview. Today we're just going to take our shoes off and our socks off and shake things out. We got a lot of things that we're going to do. We're going to have Blas Lorenzo on the show today. We're going to do a contest. I hope you got your contest hats on, your thinking caps, because it's going to be good. We have a shirt. I hope that you are too. And, we're also going to talk about cheetahs. And we're going to do a look back to an interview that was done 2 years ago. Okay, so today I'm wearing this camera. I'm wearing a camera. This is all going very well today. It's going great, isn't it? It's going so well. I'm wearing this shirt. It's my JP Patches shirt, Patches Pal shirt. And in honor of JP Patches, of course, everyone's favorite clown. And in the memory of JP Patches and keeping it going, that's why I'm wearing the shirt. Hoy! I think we got to breathe. I got to breathe. Hoy, Ganel. Everybody's here. It's just we're having a complete disaster. As usual, at the top of the show, my camera was jumping all around. I have no idea why. And then I called my shirt a camera. And let's get into the show. It's Lunch Therapy. Barefoot Friday. All right. So Jose is here. Jose is going to be doing a roving reporter, perhaps his first roving reporter ever. He's going to be doing that. We're also going to be going to Thailand to see Jeff Lowman, and we're going to do a puzzle with Just Jay. But behind me is an ocelot. We're not talking about ocelots today. I just wanted to show you the difference. That's an ocelot. Later on, we're going to be looking at cheetahs. Maybe someday we'll look at ocelots. I don't know. But for now, we're going to breathe. I got my wireless headset on, so I'm sure that will fall out of my ears. If all goes perfectly well, I will jump up and down and it'll just fall out and I won't be able to hear anything. And then the video will get all choppy and then we'll breathe. So here we go. Let's see who's here. CeeLo is here. Hello, CeeLo. Cappy Addership. Hi, Tina Adams. Hi. Maybe Blas should take over wearing the shirt camera. I think that I do wish Blas was here in studio like he was on Tuesday. That was good. My hair is looking good. That's all that really matters, right? Popped his roving reporter cherry. That's right. That's right, Jose. Got to dive in there and do your roving report. Let's breathe now with healing vibrations in the background. Let's see if we can do some breathing. All right, so let's get this thing going. We got healing vibrations. We have... That's interesting. That's quite an interesting thing. All right, so we're going to breathe now, and it's going to go in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. It's great to see everybody here today. I'm feeling pretty good now that I have 2 breaths under my belt. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. All right. So let's just soak in a little bit of the healing vibrations. Do a little switcheroo here because I can't hear what's going on. I thought I'd do the wireless microphone, but terrible idea today. It's all going very well though, isn't it? It's going very well. And I'm so glad that you're all here. Okay, so next we're gonna go to a little cheetah action here. This is something I'm playing around with. Let's see if we can do it. I'm gonna become a human cheetah right now. It's a transformation that you're all gonna be witness to. I'm gonna turn right into a cheetah. And, good, Chuck has oxygen in his toes. So get ready for me to transform into a cheetah. You never thought this was gonna happen, but it is going to happen today. Here I go. Oh my gosh, I'm a cheetah. I bet you didn't know that cheetahs actually purr. They do not roar. Yeah, it's incredible. It's an incredible feat of cheetah transformation. I'm a were-cheetah. I'm a were-cheetah. Don't get scared, because we're very kind. We're super fast. I look like Chewbacca. Today's gonna be fun. It's all it's gonna be is fun. That's all there is. You know, when things are crazy in the world, things seem like there's a lot of lunacy going on in the world. You gotta sometimes transform into a cheetah. You know, cheetahs also chirp. I don't know if you're aware of this, but they, when they get scared, they chirp like a bird. Chirp, chirp. Yep, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Enough of that. Now I'm not a cheetah anymore. I have now transformed into God knows what. Now I'm a human being again. I transformed again. The special effects are amazing on this show. It's world-renowned, actually. Someday we'll be world-renowned. Right now, it's just bad. It's just bad. I look like Chewbacca. That's cool, cheetah skin. Yeah, I love it. All right, so let's get on the next thing. I'm all wired up now. Wired up. I should have gotten a little wired up on caffeine. Maybe that would have helped. But let's get into this next thing. Okay. So I wanted to make an announcement today about somebody who's really killing it lately, and he is somebody that was on the show. And today is the debut of his show on Netflix. And I'm talking about, of course, Mark Andrews, and I'm going to play just a little snippet of an interview. I think that we still have bowls in the background as well. The little snippet of an interview with Mark Andrews, who was on the show 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Is that possible? Here it is.
So after John Carter and I did Brave, which was night and day different kind of experiences, you know, as fast as you can think, and trying to get more organics into a thing that resists it as much as it can, right? Yeah. When I started developing my own films after Brave in 2012, I went to Ed Catmull and Jim Morris, and who are the presidents of the company. I said, I want to do this. I want to do a completely different process for animation. I want to skip 2D altogether. I want to be right in 3D. Because
so usually you go from 2D to 3D?
2D to 3D. And that was a thing that I discovered was the technology is so fast now, and these artists are so fluent in it, right? I can say, sketch me out a character, and they can get in ZBrush and knock something out in a day or a lunch, right?
I remember when you first started, they used to have like an entire room full of like Mac Minis or something, just rendering. You have to wait for, days or days. It's not like
now. No, now you don't. You could do it on your iPad. It's insane. And these artists, so I can already be in context right off the bat, not fake context. 2D is cheating. I don't care what you say. And I know my perspective and everything. My camera lens choices and everything are reflected in the drawing, but it's still cheating at the end of the day. In 3D, you can't cheat. It's there. You can, but it's there, and you're informed, and you can have that reaction that's more open and honest. And so if I can get into 3D right off the bat, I'm making my decisions right off the bat. I'm in the spaces in context saying this is way too big. We were designing stuff in Brave, or they had before I came on, where Fergus's hand was so big, this is Eleanor's hand, right? And it's huge. And there was a scene where he's talking to Eleanor about their daughter, and he puts his hands on her shoulders. And they didn't change anything, and the hands were like this big in the camera to her head. We had to constantly scale his hands down, 35%, so they look kind of normal. And then as soon as his hands are off and they're compared to his body, they go back to normal. So doorways were designed for Fergus, not for anybody else. So the people look like they're standing in Roman Colosseum, arches. So that's designed outside of context. Which would never happen in live action.
This is hilarious. I'm really rocking the blue screen today, I'll tell you. I'm back. That was Mark Andrews, and today, he was just talking with us about his previous things, such as he won the Oscar for Brave. And so he was talking about what he wants to do in the future. He wants to do something that is more like less 2D, more 3D, and in the time period that since we spoke with him, he has created a show on Netflix. It's called Giant Robot Brothers. It's coming out today. It's on Netflix today if you want to check it out. And basically, it's the first television show that has been done in Real Engine, which is actually a gaming engine that they use in movies a lot. But he had motion capture actors with mocap doing the live acting and having it and seeing it in real time, seeing the animation in real time on the monitors. And so it's a really interesting form. These are some of the photographs from that, or stills from the show. So I invite you to check that out. Giant Robot Brothers. Perhaps we'll get him on the show to talk about his experience making that, but it seems like it was pretty cool. And it's amazing all the things that we're going to be able to do with that. I'd like to do that on my show someday. I'm pretty far away from it, but do some Unreal Engine and all that stuff. Here we go. Now we're moving to the aforementioned roving reporter with Jose Salas, who he's in Knoxville, Tennessee right now. We're going to see how different it is in Knoxville from Hollywood, California.
This is your roving reporter coming to you from Knoxville, Tennessee at Emma's Southern Kitchen on Hollywood Boulevard. That is correct, Hollywood Boulevard. Welcoming you to Midsummer Scream. Enjoy.
Midsummer Scream. So we're going to go right into the Midsummer Scream here. So he went to Midsummer Scream. This was not in Knoxville, Tennessee, I believe.
This is your roving reporter from Midsummer Scream 2022. Welcome.
Horror is not just for October, you know. Look at all those masks. There's a clown. Always ripping on the clowns. Always trying to make them scary. World's greatest silicone masks. Look at all those masks. Jose. Okay, what do we got over here? More masks. And looks like some kind of a contest going on. We're going to have a contest later on today. Oh, look at that. That's like some kind of demon cow person. We had the cheetah person on the show. Now we have a werecow. She looked kind of devilish. Frightening. What else we got?
This event is one of the largest horror movie conventions in the country. It happens once a year at the end of July, early August. You will not find a bigger, more diverse area of horror movie paraphernalia.
Look at those guys.
Here you will find artifacts, t-shirts, makeup, even, if you're lucky, actual actors from certain movies.
Really? They sign autographs? Ah. Look at that.
And a bit of alcohol.
They're boozing it up. Boozing it up at the Horror Fest. And over here, here's a raft. In case it floods in there. Oh, I see. Land of the Lost. There's a whole thing for Land of the Lost. Sid Croft. We had Marty Croft on the show. Wow. I don't think of Land of the Lost as horror though, but I guess they do. I guess that's.
Crossroads escape game. You know it's the best because I work there, and we have a win.
Look at that hair. Yes. What do you think? Do you think sci-fi? So it's sci-fi horror maybe, with a little bit of Land of the Lost thrown in. That looks like fun. All right, now we're going to move on to Super Jeff, episode 9 from Thailand. Thank you, Jose. Now to you, Jeff. Oh, look at that guy. Wait a minute. Wow. That was cool. All right, let's go on to Super Jeff. Thank you so much, Jose. We're moving on. Sleesex. Kenyel says, oh, wait. There's more. Oh, my God. You're kidding me. Where is he? The actors interact and sign books. Bloody Knuckles. What are Bloody Knuckles? There's Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. We got our stay for him. Let's get over to him. Oh, there he is. There he is. Is that Long Beach? I don't know. We're going to find out. Anyway, let's go on to Thailand. Thank you so much, Jose, for this roving report.
So much more.
All right, here we go. Now we're all the way to Thailand. From Long Beach, Knoxville to Long Beach to Thailand.
Ahoy, all you hummingbirds out
Ahoy.
there. I left the party town of Payao, couldn't stay there forever, and I headed southeast, as I went through Payao province, and then I entered Nan province. As you can see here, beautiful hills, forests everywhere. In the lowlands, they were mostly growing corn and bananas, a couple of rice fields, but mostly fruit. The roads were in good condition, very few cars on the road, saw a few bicyclists here and there, but had an excellent ride. There
Wow.
was a patch of bad road, but thankfully it didn't give way while I was going by it.
That looked dangerous.
But these types of things happen in the tropics. I made a stop at a lake at the top of the mountain.
Get that
And
shirt
here
on.
I am wearing my Vladimir Putin Donald Trump shirt,
Oh, I'll get out of
which
the
is
way.
available on Amazon. However, I would not advise wearing it in certain places, but non-Thailand, it's safe to wear. Speaking of laundry, I had to get some done. So once I got into non-province and non-city, I went to the service laundry place and put in my clothes, and they turned it around in about 2 hours, and I received my clothes back. Now on the bag was written Farang, which means Caucasian. So thankfully, no other Caucasians are in this town. Otherwise, they could have gotten my clothes. One
Nice.
last thing before I go today, and that's looking for strange and interesting things, things that might seem a little bit different from everywhere else. Now, you might think that 3 people on a motorcycle is strange and different, but in Thailand, that's pretty average, not different or strange at all. Okay, so lots of motorcyclists. A motorcyclist here with a surgical mask
this.
but no helmet. Another with a surgical mask and a helmet. And this is what I find very interesting because throughout Thailand, there is no mandate to have masks on outside, but people are still wearing masks outside. But there is a helmet law, and people generally don't wear helmets. So this is what's strange and interesting. Now, this isn't because the Thais think they're protecting themselves from COVID by wearing the masks, but it seems to be some sort of show of respect. So that's the interesting thing from Nan, and I will see you all later, farther down the road.
All right.
This
I'm
is just
going
Jay,
to show you this ridiculously hard puzzle I have.
comedian in
It's
Kansas.
all-
Now we're in
this is
Kansas.
what I call, it's all heads and arms, all the same shape. Now some of them have big fat heads, which is what I call that. That's a fat head. And then sometimes they've got these tiny heads. And then they have holes for fat heads and tiny heads. But now you can see what I'm working on. See this? It's flowers and then it's turning green. All right. Now you see all these pieces here. They all somehow fit in here. So for instance,
That looks horrible, that puzzle.
I'm going to...
Is that even a picture?
Say... Okay,
Is that a cat?
let's look at this hole.
What is that?
Right here. So what's that? Fat head, big arms, little head holes, right? And it's got to be dark purple with a little bit of white. All right. So we're looking for a fat head.
Where's the box cover? Yeah, we need to know what this thing looks like because we have no
Let's see
perspective.
here.
All the puzzle pieces are the same.
There's kind of a fat head. Let's try
This is a cruel punishment,
We're
I
gonna
think.
come over here.
Why do people subject themselves to this? I don't know.
That fits. Well, what a piece of shit. It looks like it should, asshole. All right. And I try to stay calm during this process. But
That was her
my
husband.
will attest. Okay, wait. Let's give this piece another try.
It's
No,
torturous.
the head's not. It's too big. All right, so now we're gonna come over here. Now look at this guy. So he's got a bent head. All right.
What is the
So
point
now,
of this?
Look at this hole
Just Jay.
right here. That's a bent head. I'm going to see if he fits there.
How would you
Now,
know?
You might think that fits there.
I don't know if that fits
I'm
there.
going to look at it closely because guess what this asshole puzzle does also? It'll let a piece fit, but it's a fake fit. And I believe that could be a real fit. Yay, so you saw me put a piece in, but this is what I go through. This is how I talk.
Why though?
And my husband really doesn't like it that I swear
Why just Jay?
and say things like asshole. But this puzzle deserves every cuss word that
I should say.
And why am I doing this?
Why?
When I'm moving and supposed to be setting up the studio. I
Why?
have no idea other than the table is in my sewing area and I need to finish the puzzle so I can move the table.
Humans.
This is Just Jay, roving reporter.
Humans are so
regarding
strange.
Jigsaw puzzles.
I think animals
And
are
maybe
weird.
you needed to know this.
I did. I needed to know this today. Thank you, Just Jay. I have no explanation for why she's doing this. Sometimes we cause ourselves trouble when we don't need it. And this puzzle is exactly that. Now we're going to get on to a new segment because maybe a couple of weeks ago, we had a guest on who was mentioning Christian Science. And I didn't know what it was. And I looked into it. And now the fruits of my labor, a new segment, historical, paranormal. All right, so here we are with a historical paranormal. This is basically, I looked into the founder of Christian Science. Some people call it Christian Science, other people call it the Church of Christ Science, but Church of Christ Scientist. So this is not about the religion per se. This is about the founder, super interesting person. Her name's Mary Baker Eddy. And I'm going to attempt to tell you about her today. This is not a religious program, but a lot of times we like to look into different philosophies of people. We were looking at Thich Nhat Hanh, the wonderful Zen master. And today we're going to look at Mary Baker Eddy. So she founded the Church of Christ Scientists, which is sometimes called the Christian Science Church. And she wrote a book called Science and Health, which was super popular. And basically what it's saying, and this is one of the questions of the show, is can we heal ourselves? Can we heal our body with our spirit? I guess is the question. Can we heal our body with our spirit? And I believe that that's probably true. And Mary Baker Eddy, she really believed that too. She said that sickness was an illusion that could be healed and she thought through spirituality. So she was listed as one of the 100 most significant Americans of all time in 2014 by Smithsonian Magazine. She's from New Hampshire. She was born Mary Morse Baker, and she grew up on a farm, and she was always sick as a youngster. And so she was always trying to figure out like how she could be healthier. And she looked into all kinds of things, homeopathy. And this was, way back when she was looking into all these remedies that maybe in the United States was not such a popular thing to do. But she looked into allopathy, hydropathy, electricity. She even was looking into electricity and how you can heal yourself with electricity. I don't think that means electroshock therapy, but I don't know. I think it means more like magnets and things. She suffered from chronic indigestion as a child. Hoping to cure it, she embarked on a diet of nothing but bread, water, and vegetables. And at one point, consumed only once a day, which I like to call OMAD, 1 meal a day. It's kind of a thing to do that people do these days. with all their intermittent fasting and all that stuff. So when she was 12 years old, she so strongly objected to the idea of predestination and eternal damnation that it made her ill. And this is what she says in her book. She says, "My mother, as she bathed my burning temples, bade me lean on God's love, which would give me rest if I went to him in prayer. And as I was wont to do, seeking his guidance, I prayed, and a soft glow of ineffable joy came over me. And the fever was gone, and I rose and dressed myself in normal condition of health. Mother saw this and was glad. The physician marveled. And the horrible decree," she says, "of predestination forever lost its power over me." So she didn't believe in predestination. She thought she could change things, which I think might be a pretty healthy thing. And so as she got older, she had a lot of tragedy in her life. When she was 6 months pregnant, her first husband died. And then her mom and her brother Albert, who was very close to her, he died as well. And her son was taken away from her when he was 4, and they took him to a foster care center, and they told him that his mother was dead and buried. These are the kind of things that could happen to you. It's not funny. And then he was taken away. She never saw him again until he was 34 years old, and he had fought in the Civil War on the Union side. And then she had this fall on the ice. And she was 44 years old, I believe, when she had this fall on the ice. And she went to studying the Bible, and she read this passage about transformation and health. And she cured herself. She was knocked unconscious. So this was in 1866 in Lynn, Massachusetts. She fell on the ice. She was knocked unconscious. She had severe injuries. And the minister assumed that she was dying. And after, she was 44 years old. And they said, well, that's pretty much the typical life expectancy of women. And I guess she's going to die. So she started seeking solutions to human suffering. And she, basically cured herself through her spirituality. And then later on earlier on in 1861, her husband had taken her to this guy, Phineas Quimby, who, I'll show you some pictures here. This is her growing up. This is her dad, who was super religious and was kind of stern. This is her son. When she didn't see him for all that time. And this is Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, who was somebody, mesmerism was like a big thing in that time. It started to be a big thing. And basically mesmerism is like hypnotism and something they call animal magnetism. I always thought animal magnetism was like when you're super sexy and people come to you and be like, wow, he's hot. You have animal magnetism, but that's not what it is at all. I think I learned that from like a perfume commercial or something. But no, she met this guy and they had these long conversations, and he wasn't really a religious guy. And she was saying, a lot of these things, these healing practices are attributed to God. And he didn't really agree with her. But you know what? For some of his religious clients, he went along with that. And, kind of help them. So after she miraculously survived this being knocked unconscious, and she's 40 years old, and she decided, I'm going to write a book about this. So she worked on this book called Science and Health. And it was really hard because nobody was really for her. People were just really giving her a hard time. And she's trying to just write this book and trying to come up with this new thing about how to heal yourself. And even the typesetter, the guy who was typesetting the book for her, would rewrite it. So she kept having to fight with the typesetter because he kept rewriting the thing. This is the kind of thing that people go through, women especially. She said, from my childhood, I was impelled by a hunger and thirst for divine things, a desire for something higher and better than matter and apart from it, to seek diligently for the knowledge of God as one of the great ever-present reliefs from human woe. So she kept persevering, wrote this book. She got it done the way she wanted to get it done. And to this day, well, as of 2001, it's sold over 9 million copies. Yeah. Why did they take her child away? Kamala says. I know, it's a very good question. They took him away because her husband left her and they didn't think that she could take care of the child. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Phineas Quimby, yes, mentalist. In fact, so this Phineas Quimby guy did eventually die long before. This is animal magnetism here. That's Mesmer. He's a guy in Germany who came up with mesmerism, the idea of mesmerism, which is this animal magnetism and hypnosis, and they even made like a movie about him. So this is her book, Science and Health, and she got it published, super popular book, so much so that she ended up founding a church. She finally found a husband that was compatible with her. Asa Gilbert Eddy. He was a good husband to her, became a controversial speaker. She became super famous, and she established this Church of Christ Science that's still around today. She lived to be 87 years old. So they thought she was going to die from falling on the ice at 44? No. And at 87, she founded the Christian Science Monitor, which is, she founded that because she wanted it as an alternative to yellow journalism, which I guess is what they used to call fake news, right? Fake news. And that has won 7 Pulitzer Prizes between 1950 and 2002. So I think this is an inspiring story. You know, whether I think probably that church probably has some controversy because I don't think they see doctors a lot. I think they see doctors only for particular things, and they see dentists. And so some people are like, well, people have died because they didn't go see the doctor. But you know what? People die because they go see the doctor too. So I guess that's probably a pretty good argument for that. But I'm not here to make that argument. I'm here to tell you about this incredible person. Mary Baker Eddy. There she is. There she is when she was 84 years old, I believe. Well, I had no idea the word mesmerism came from a person's name. I didn't know that either. I even wrote a script where there was a guy named Mesmer in it. And turns out it's named after a real guy. I love this stuff. So coming back from the other side, yes, familiar. Yeah, no. The other thing is people don't know about this. So many famous women in the United States that did incredible things. We don't even know who they are because they're not put in the history books, I guess. Tina says, my Phil grew up Christian Science. He almost died of rheumatic fever in the 30s. In his 30s, they didn't believe in going to doctors. Yeah. So that can definitely be controversial. The thought is mesmerizing. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. I think it's a pretty interesting thing to think about. I think healing your body through spiritualism or through higher power sounds pretty darn interesting. Speaking of a higher power, I'm going to now bring on my guest today, who's also a producer on the show, Mr. Blas Lorenzo. Are you ready, Blas? I hope he's ready. He's got his LA Dodgers cap on. Ladies and gentlemen, Blas Lorenzo. This has been Paranormal Historical, and now here's Blas. Guest has muted himself. That's always what happens when my guests come on. I'm not sure what to say, but I can't hear it. There he is.
Make a sandwich. Make a sandwich.
Oh, no.
Make a sandwich. It's okay.
There's some parenting going on. Is there parenting happening? Hi.
Am I on?
You're
Am I
on
now?
You're on. And it says Joe Fury under my name, which should say Joel Marshall because Joe is not here today.
What's up with your producer, dude? Does he
I don't
what
know,
he's doing?
dude. It's like a total disaster today, but we're getting some good information out there, and we're really getting some therapy done. And we got some great people here. And yeah, see, Chuck Goldsmith thought that was a cool segment. Segue, yeah.
Sir,
How are
are you
you?
getting an echo?
I'm
good.
I'm
good.
not.
Thank you very much.
I'm
And-
not.
oh, this is good then. Oh, great.
Yeah.
I don't need this
Thank
then.
God. I was having some crazy stuff going on at the beginning
Oh, I
of the
thought I
show,
was
I'll
getting
tell
an
you.
echo. Man. Oh, how awesome.
Boney. Bloss, they're calling you Boney. Bloss, I like your background. I do like your
No.
background. Kamala likes it. It's cool.
I'm older now. I'm not bony anymore.
You're not bony anymore. What are you,
I'm
fleshy?
a little thick.
Are you fleshy?
Little thick. Yeah, a little thick. Little thick. You know what I
That's
mean?
great.
I think when you get older,
Yeah.
you put on a little bit more weight, and it's a little harder to get it off.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
But I did like the lady that was trying to. I'm big on letting your body heal itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're not feeling well, you got to eat better, get some sleep, hydrate. You know, give your body a chance to heal itself before you start running out and getting prescriptive medicine or maybe street drugs or
I'm for
a
that.
little drink.
I mean, if you got an emergency, you got to get right over to the hospital. But if
Yeah, that
you
I
know,
agree
if you
with.
got some, like some I don't know, monkeypox or something, maybe you
bleeding?
can just ask God. No, I don't know about monkeypox.
Yeah, like or some serious bleeding or
If you have something serious, yeah, you got to
open
get over to
wound.
the doctor. But I'm not advocating that necessarily. But I do think that we can heal ourselves, definitely, through positive thinking and spirituality. And Matt Wright was calling out
and
Boney for the
healthy.
Joe Fury prank. Yeah, because he pranked me. You punked me, Boney. You punked me by putting
Got
Joe
him.
Fury
Got him.
on. Got him.
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing the LA Dodger cap,
Yeah, can you tell us about Vin Scully?
the great Vin Scully. Actually, man, I love that dude. I had a hard time that day, man. The whole next day, all the
Yeah,
testimonials and the documentaries about his career and stuff, and it's exactly what they said. He's the best that's ever done it. 67 years. He's great at telling stories while the game's going on without missing the game.
yeah,
At one point, you know, I was homeless for a little while, and then I finally got my own apartment. And when I did, I didn't have TV, I didn't have cable or anything, right? So I
yeah.
used to listen to the Dodger game. You know,
Well,
Giant
it's
fan,
incredible,
became a
isn't it?
Dodger fan.
It's incredible that somebody
Yeah,
could like
yeah,
all
and he's
audio.
painting the picture, and then he's telling these little stories about who's up at bat or maybe a player or
Yeah,
the community, whatever. And he tells you some stories, and then you're like cutting to the story he's telling, and
yeah,
you're imagining that. And then that was a low slider ball, 3-2 count, and then he goes back to the story, and you're at the baseball game, and then you're back at the story. And he
really.
was so good at that. No voice change, no
Cool.
tone, just kind of right there with it, keeping it nice and like uninterrupting to the game and uninterrupting to the story, and not taking attention away like to himself. You know,
Yeah.
bringing attention to himself or taking attention away from what's going on. Is just masterful with the language and the ability to paint pictures in your head with words.
So great. And also
Man,
to be
it
able
was
to
great.
do
It was
that
great.
over such a long period of time and keep people engaged for the decades and decades that he did it. It's really something else. And
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think
the LA News was all about that. Like the whole show was about Vin Scully.
Oh man, Channel 5, KTLA 5,
Yeah.
Jessica Holmes and Frank Buckley, those guys, their whole entire shift was Vin Scully. I mean, you know, it's an LA station, it's local, and man, the guy's been here forever, man. He came here from New York, and he's just a representative of LA and the Dodgers, and I agree with everybody. When you talk about the Dodgers, you talk about Vin Scully as a fixture, a permanent Hall of Famer, a Mount Rushmore, you know,
Mhm.
for the Dodgers, and he's up there with the greats, Sandy Koufax and what's his name? What's the other guy's name? Jackie Robinson. You know what I mean? These guys.
Don't ask me about
they
baseball, man.
they brought baseball to. Was that?
Don't ask me about baseball.
What?
It's
Oh, don't ask me about it. But I'm just saying
terrible.
that these guys brought baseball and changed, you know, the
Yeah.
culture of America and stuff, and they were part of it the whole time.
Yeah.
And he was a huge icon in baseball, in sports, you know, and in people's lives. People grew up with him. He's a family member kind of guy. He was
It's a
great. I
beautiful
loved him.
thing. And it's amazing all the different people that were putting flowers at Dodger Stadium, and just everybody wanted to express their thanks for this wonderful, guy. It's so great.
Yeah, you don't experience stuff like that. It's once in a lifetime kind of a thing. I don't think there'll ever be anybody in broadcasting that would be with one team, 60 years plus, and so beloved. Just.
Apparently in
I'm
Seattle,
sure he
Dave
could.
Niehaus.
He did other sports. He did national sports. He
Yeah.
did golf. He did the World Series. He did Super Bowls and stuff like that. But I'm sure he got off tons of money to leave every once in a while, and he just stayed. Man, he was
Somebody like that doesn't do it for the money.
Brooklyn to LA.
Okay, now I can hear my voice.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money.
Now I can hear myself.
Oh, you can hear yourself
on
now?
your thing, yeah.
All right.
All right, we're gonna get into some wildlife therapy here. I promised the cheetahs would arrive, and we're gonna do some cheetahs. So here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Woo! Oh, first, before we do the cheetahs, Jeff Lowman sent us in. Jeff Lowman just has so many incredible experiences over there in Thailand. This is a weird ass bug with a cat. You ever seen a bug like that?
That's a regular cat. What do you mean?
Yes, regular cat. But look at the bug. Do you see the bug?
Oh!
It's right by your head, dude.
Oh!
Whoa! Isn't
What is
that
dude?
crazy?
What is that?
I don't know, man. They come up with
Is that
some.
Thailand?
That's in Thailand, yeah. It's some kind of a jungle beetle.
That's not a bug, bro. That's not a bug. Bro.
I know you think
That's
it's
like
fake. You think it's fake.
It's an alien. Look at it. It's
like
alien life. What is that, dude? Come on, dude.
I've never seen anything like it.
Alien.
What if you were in here? Look at that. Last week we had, and then there's another one too. Last week we had, look at that, close up. Last week we were talking about dragonflies, and I thought those things were scary.
Look at that. Is he up close to that thing like that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they don't bite or anything. And I think it looks like it's a restaurant or something too, right?
Oh yeah. Those types of countries, they're so open, like the walls and everything, the windows, and they eat. I remember in the Philippines we were eating, and there were like geckos on the ceiling.
Really, it's a beautiful bug, though. I mean, it really is. Look at those antennae; they're super cool. Let's see what the folks have to say.
What is going on inside that, dude?
I don't know, man. Is it thinking about us right now? Does it know it's on? It probably knows it's on lunch therapy. Dude, it's cool.
Look at
That bug is the maitre d'.
Yeah.
He's like, may I take your order? How many? Table for 3?
Follow me. Follow me.
Follow me. I'll take your order. Why isn't that bug leaving? That bug is not leaving. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so the next segment is going to be about the world's fastest animals. This is not one of them. Kamala, that's his place. He works there. Okay, this is the next segment. It is called World's Fastest Animals. And of course, Blas has disappeared, and it's totally my fault. And someday...
He's the sole proprietor.
Yeah, he's the sole. He owns the place, maybe. I think he owns it.
Joint.
All right. So here we go. We got the world's fastest animal. And I don't know what happened to our chat room, but somehow we lost that too. Okay, so world's fastest animal, and we're going to get to that. Of course, the fastest land animal is the cheetah, and everybody probably knows that. But do we know what the fastest sea animal is? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Fastest sea animal.
Fastest animal in the sea. I mean, is that?
I mean, sharks move so fast, dude. Sharks, dolphins.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that are huge predators,
Mm-hmm.
they move quick. But then if you think about the smaller fish that are avoiding them, they move quick too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got to look at it by size. Like, how do you measure the miles per hour by the size?
Right. How do you measure it?
How do you measure that? Who's the fastest? because those little fish that are dodging the big
Yeah.
fish, the eels and the sharks and all those guys, like they got to get they got to get
Are you
quick,
scared?
dog.
Is there a bug in there?
Yeah, they got to move.
Did a bug just
No,
about
I'm
get you?
being
Oh,
the
you were
little fish.
acting it out. That was an act out. Is that
Yeah,
it?
I'm
You gotta
yeah,
dodge
yeah,
and
I'm being
move.
animated.
I was
gotta
trying to
go-
get the
whoa,
chat
hey.
room on the screen. Of course, I apologize. But okay, so let's see what it is. What's your
Don't worry
guess?
about it, dude.
Your
Your
guess?
producer, he doesn't know what he's doing. The guy,
Boney?
he's a,
Don't say that about Boney, though. You're talking about
oh no, I'm talking about
Boris,
the other guy,
right?
the new guy.
Boris?
The
Boris?
idiot you got, the new guy. The new guy.
Fleshy?
Boris.
It's the new character, Fleshy. All right, so let's get on to this. Let's find out about this Fleshy. Sailfish, fastest. It's the fastest fish.
Wow.
You believe it?
That's the fish that's being avoiding the swordfish.
That is it's kind of a swordfish, right? I mean, what's the difference between a sailfish and a swordfish? I think it's probably that big sail on the back of it.
Wait. I thought the sailfish was the bunch of fish.
No, the sailfish is that big ass swordfish looking thing. And I would think with that big fin on its back that would drag. That'd be a lot of drag, right?
No, that's making him move, bro. I bet that's less movement for his body because that sail is like,
How fast do you think
like
it goes?
It's like how fast? Sailfish, how fast? I'd say it's probably faster than 45 knots or 45 miles per hour?
I didn't get knots.
How fast is the cougar again? I mean, how fast is the cheetah?
Cheetah is 50 to 80 miles per hour. It can run 50 to 80 miles per hour.
Animal on earth.
It's the fastest land animal. Yeah. Land animal.
Land animal. Oh, this guy's faster than a cheetah. I bet he's 55.
But 67 miles per hour.
No!
I don't know. I like the way Jason Edelman's like knots. Ha ha ha. What do you think? We were gonna say like feet per second. Yeah, 67 miles per hour in the water. I mean, that's pretty damn fast, right?
No, that's super. You can't get away, dude. Who's gonna get away from that?
Look at that diver just running. He's trying to swim away from that thing. It's like, no, I got you, man. I'm gonna sword you. I'm gonna sword you right through the.
Think about the guy who's taking the picture right now.
I know.
He's pretty close.
Fathoms. How many fathoms does it go? Okay, so next. So this is just a fun animal. I don't know what it is. It's probably not fast at all. I think it goes 0 miles per hour. I don't know why I have this in here, but I just thought it was a cool animal. Anybody know what that is? Sailfish loves Sammy Hagar. I can't swim. 55. I don't know what that is, but that is a cool looking monkey thing with a long tail. Cheetahs also have long tails, but this thing, I don't know. This thing can't run as fast as a cheetah, but it can climb a tree.
I know what it is.
What is it?
I know what it is. It's monkeypox.
This is the alleged monkeypox right here.
Stay away, man. Stay away.
Speaking of that, Brazilian free-tailed bat.
Now,
how fast do you think?
They're very fast. Yeah, very fast.
They're very fast. This is the fastest, probably flying mammal. Looks like a mixture between a cat and a monkey. The other guy did look like a mixture between a cat and a monkey. That's a good point. Yeah, this is a Brazilian free-tailed bat. Brazilian free-tailed bat. Tell me, what do you think? How fast?
But when you say flying fastest mammal, is that what you said? Are birds not mammals?
Fastest flying mammal, because there's a faster bird.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right, fastest flying mammal. I say about 35.
35. Yeah.
With the wind, 45.
Interesting, because Jason Edelman says this thing: correlation does not equal causation. That's so deep. I'm not even sure what that. Are there other flying mammals? That's a good question. Well, there are other bats. It seems rigged.
But this is the fastest one, though. You already said it's the fastest.
The fastest. Well, they were like, they didn't know. Actually, they didn't really realize these bats were fast because they fly like tons of them out of a cave. And they didn't know they were very fast. And then they got some kind of device and they hooked it up to it. And then they got some kind of Cessna to fly. It was way complicated. I read this article about it. It was way complicated how they figured out how fast they fly. They don't know how many knots they fly or how many feet per second or or the fathoms that they fly, but they do know miles per hour. Edelman says, how many fathoms? I knew he was going to say that.
But what about the cubic feet per square inch?
Yeah, how many
about that?
cubic feet do they fly? Okay, let's see. And how fast do they run? Is a good question too. But they fly 100 miles per hour. Thank you very much.
What
Yes,
the
ladies and
dude,
gentlemen, 100 miles per hour. Yeah, totally called
That's
it.
how do they see? You know
They,
what I mean?
you know,
They
you
have to have,
you know,
like,
people
goggles to
think
cover their
bats are
eyes.
blind, but they're not so blind. It's a myth. We have a bat on the show that's talked about this many times.
Some guy just made that up, and everybody believes it.
Yeah,
Bats
they
are
say
blind.
blind is a
They're
bat. Bats are
colorblind and they're
blind.
blind.
Oh, then let's see. See my above answer. I got to see what's happening over here. I've got this
Okay, let's
new
take a peek.
thing here to. Oh, Kamala said she wanted us to know that she said 100 miles an hour. She's like,
Wow.
see my above answer. I said it. What's my prize? It was a good one. She got it exactly.
That's like, yeah,
Oh
that's
my
like
God.
oh, they go 100 miles per hour. Like, you know,
That's
it's one of those,
incredible.
things you're answering.
That's incredible. Look at
I
the
don't know
crowd
much
is
about
going
that.
crazy. The crowd is going nuts. Got to
Good-
make
good
sure that
call,
we
Cam,
give
good call.
everybody their due, because Just Jay got very upset the other day because we still don't know why. But there
Oh,
was
I'll
some
tell you
kind
why. Because
yeah.
Just Jay had an answer on on the trivia question and got it right. Didn't get
Yeah.
credit for it. I had to go back, check
Yeah.
it out, make sure, and then gave credit. But she didn't realize that I gave credit.
Oh, she
So
didn't
stop
realize.
being
She had to
mad,
go
Jay.
back
We
and
love
watch
you.
it. She's cool. She's working on that puzzle, so she can't be here today. She's got shit to do. She's got to move that table, and in order to move the table, you got to do the puzzle that's on it. Of course, everybody knows that.
Because she can't move the table because the puzzle's going to get messed up.
Right. I mean, you got to finish it. So, yeah. Peregrine falcon.
Dump the puzzle in a laundry basket. Move the table. Put the puzzle back up.
Dump the puzzle in the garbage can. Get on with your life. Get on with your life.
Come on, Jay.
Come
You're
on,
better
Jay.
than that. Move that table. Move
Send
that
Just
table.
Jay a flamethrower. Yeah, we got to send her a flamethrower. All right, so
That's terrible.
she could
We
just
love you, Jay.
torch the whole thing. That reminds me, got a half-done puzzle. Matt Wright said something interesting that I just want to put in here for a second here. He said the thing about healing and how doctors, this is just something I wanted to mention. It's worth remembering that doctors can only recommend things they believe will work. It's an ethics thing. It's one point of view that can be useful, but not the only one. That was just an interesting thing to say about that whole thing we're talking about.
You have to think like that when anybody's giving you any medical attention. You have to think like that.
Yeah. What do you think about the peregrine falcon, people out there? Let's see if we can guess how fast this thing, and this is how fast it swoops in. So it's not just flying around at this speed, but when it swoops down to catch something.
You're talking about descent.
Descent.
The descending is faster than it's flying.
Matt Wright says 150 miles per hour. Yeah, it's how fast it swoops in. That seems like
that's fast.
One of these things where your mouth goes like, oh, you know that?
You're getting to the G-forces at that point. Relax.
I think you said its name wrong. Well, how do you say it, Jason? Peregrine?
Peregrine.
See, that's the thing about this show is there are some facts, there are some mispronunciations, there are some things that are misremembered. But that's, we're just having fun, taking a break from the crap.
What we're trying to let you know is that we make mistakes.
You say it. Here's how you say its name. It's Steve. Thanks for the disclaimer. Appreciate that. That's the thing. I think Matt told that joke the other day where the I don't know, clown comes into the bar. You got to
say the joke before you laugh.
I know. Well, the clown comes. I'm totally getting it wrong now, and Matt's going to have to help me out. But I thought about it for a while. That the clown comes into the bar and asks for a job. Is that what happens? The clown comes into the bar, asks for a job, and
Oh my
And the
gosh.
bartender says, we don't have any jobs, but there's a circus coming into town. And the clown says, why would the circus need a bartender? I totally said it wrong. It's a variation of a joke that we always tell on the show. Okay, peregrine falcon, let's find out. Come on, we got to get on with it, right? We got to get on with this thing. Okay. Howard Ronan says
75.
cheetah.
I say 75.
Okay, let's see.
Wait, the bat was 100, right?
220 miles per hour.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, it just swoops
Descending.
in. I just broke my fingernail swooping like that. I just went swooping in, and it broke my fingernail on my microphone stand. Can you believe it? Holy F.
Who can avoid 220 miles per hour getting swooped in on? There's no rodent, no animal alive that could avoid that. You are done. Your dinner.
I know. Well, you know what? You know who is the best hunter of all animals and insects and living creatures?
Best hunter.
This
Man.
is trivia from last Tuesday. Man. Oh, God. Yeah, man. Not even man can rival the dragonfly. Dragonfly catches 95% of its prey.
That's right. That's right. I remember that. 95% of his. So really, he just goes anywhere for dinner.
Howard
right?
cheated on a test. Yeah, he goes anywhere. Goes anywhere for dinner.
Yeah, he doesn't have to pick a restaurant. He goes to any restaurant.
He always catches his prey. Always catches his prey. And because it's hardwired in the dragonfly, hardwired in, not the learned behavior, hardwired in to just fly to where the mosquito's going to be. It knows. And mosquitoes, they don't just fly in a straight, they're just and it knows exactly where it's going to be at a particular time, and it just goes right there. Just like the greatest.
Insects like insects like dragonflies, flies, mosquitoes, those little ones, gnats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't fly linear. They fly. They get going. You know what I mean? They move. They're like the greatest basketball defender. They're always moving their feet. They're always in front of you. They're always like, hey,
Totally.
hey, fake.
They're the great basketball player.
Probably
the great quarterbacks. Throw the ball to where
there's
they
only
can
a
be.
couple of those. There's only a couple of those.
Staircase. That's how she died. Oh my God. Yeah. There's only so many. There's probably 5.
Staircase.
Do you ever see the staircase? Staircase. It's a show where a lady falls down the stair and dies, and I don't want to give it away. Do we look slow motion to fast bugs? That we probably do. They're probably like, God, because dragonflies only live like 6 years, maybe. And most of the time they spend it in the pond. And then they spend maybe a few weeks to a year flying around. And so their time is really condensed. So it probably looks like
for a bug or insect. Are they considered birds? No.
They're considered goats, greatest of all time, right?
It's true.
And there's the cheetah, and as we know, the cheetah 50 to 80 miles per hour on land.
God, that's running.
Yeah,
running.
Dragonflies live for 6 years. I thought it was more like a few months. Yeah, see, this is one of those fact check things. Dragonflies, it's weird because their larvae live for 5 years in the pond. And they're just eating fish and eating all, and they look like monsters. And then they crawl out on the land, and they shed their shells, I guess, or skin 16 times. And the final one, they come out as these dragonflies, and they can live for weeks, or I think up to a year. Now that has to be verified, of course.
All right, I had to check this real quick.
What?
Usain Bolt?
Yeah.
Ran the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds, and he's 27.33 miles per hour. So that's less.
Dude, that's the fastest human, just 27 miles per hour.
Fastest human. This cheetah got that ass.
How many knots, though?
They'd be like,
and how many fathoms?
How many knots?
Did he run?
Jackass. I'm going to check
5 years. All right. We're running way over time. This has been great. What? Oh, now I lost you. In typical lunch therapy fashion, I have lost you. And you're back. Yes, tell me. This is getting dramatic now. Tell me, Blas. What are you looking at? I think this is an inside
I was
joke.
gonna look up the. I was gonna
Searching
look up the
together.
knots for butt face.
Yeah.
But I'm out of it. I'm out of it. Talk to me.
Okay, so really can't get. Well, okay, I'll just finish this. One more thing about cheetahs. I think we've probably said most of the things, but these are some cheetahs, and I just wanted to show you since we have them. They have 2,000 to 3,000 spots, and the spots are also on their skin. Their skin is spotted. The cubs have a mohawk that they call a mantle, and they are also fans of Sammy Hagar as well.
So are you saying that the cubs have a mohawk, and as they get older, they have hair?
No hawk.
Baldness?
They have no hawk.
Yeah, they lose hair as they get older.
Yeah, they do. They just have it
Like,
because it helps
you know,
them.
like
It helps
some
them
of us.
hide it helps them hide actually the mohawk, and then they don't need it anymore because they run so damn fast.
Wow, that's like a shark fin sticking out of the water.
Yeah, they're beautiful,
it helps them
right?
hide. Look at that. Look at the physique on that.
I know, they're crazy, aren't they?
It reminds me of Ricky Henderson when he used to steal bases.
Yeah,
That's baseball.
another baseball reference. Lost on me. Yeah. Matt Wright says they grow up and realize that mohawks look stupid. What about
Matt's on a roll today?
What
Matt
about
is on a
mutton
roll.
chops, Matt? What about mutton chops? I think they look good. I think you should grow them back. Matt used to have these beautiful mutton chops that when he was like a punk rocker.
Did he have mutton chops and a mullet?
He had no. I don't think he had a mullet. I don't know. He'll have to answer that one. All right, so that's that. Oh wait, what else? Sorry, gotta go through this. You know, they've got these. So according to an African legend, these distinctive markings around their face, which are these black lines that come down from their eyes, originate from one female cheetah. This is the legend. She was a mother of two. She had to hunt constantly to feed herself and her cubs. Her proficient hunting was observed and admired by a lazy human hunter who devised a plan and stole her defenseless cubs. When their mother found them missing, she cried for months on end, and her tears formed 2 permanent cheetah tear marks. She eventually had new cubs which bared the same markings, and that's why today all cheetahs have tear marks. And that's according to the African legend.
Okay, first of all, somebody made that story up. Okay.
Yes, it's good though.
Somebody made that, just like the last story we heard earlier.
Yeah.
About the
Mary Baker
it's only
Eddy.
20 minutes ago.
Mary
Yeah,
Baker
it's like,
Eddy.
how does he know that? That's a myth. That's a legend. That's a story that one guy told his kids, and it became the. You know what those marks are? Those
What?
are the cheetah had a bunch of sleep in their eyes. You know, the Filipinos call it muta. You know, that booger, and
Yeah.
it just kept growing and sleeping and growing, and then you ran tracks down the skin, and then that's how that began. It's crying tears. Come on.
You know what the scientists say? It's there to reduce glare, like football players put those black grease marks.
That scientifically, that makes sense.
Matt Wright said he woke up one day and realized that the chops look stupid. I totally disagree. I totally disagree with that. I wish we had.
Matt.
Maybe there's a picture. Maybe we can find a picture of Matt.
Mutton chop, Matt?
Yeah, with the mutton chops. I mean, it was like
Mutton
his
chop,
thing.
Matt.
It was his thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
He was the only dude in the crew that could wear the chops.
Well, Gashuffer, I mean, known for the mutton chops. Yeah, well, we'll have to show that. Of course, I can't just sit here and look for photos. Oh, here he is.
That's pretty cool.
This is cool. Let me see if I can get this picture.
You got a picture of Matt?
Yeah, of course I do. This is a high-tech show. And put it up there. Just one second. This is not high-tech at all, this show. And I'm going to prove it when I try and show. Look at that. There he is.
Whoa!
Isn't that cool?
Is that the band?
That's the band, Gashuffer. Famous band from Seattle. Gashuffer.
Those chops are bomb, dude. Look at you.
He said he had a sideburnectomy, though.
You need to bring those back, buddy. You need to bring now, when is this? This is like 19...
It was a contractual obligation.
Like 70...
This is in the...
What are you on a baseball team?
This is in the late 80s, early 90s, all through the 90s. Jason says Cheetah use their tail as a counterbalance in running. Of course they do.
All animals that have tails, that's a counterbalance. It's a balancing.
Yeah.
It's equilibrium.
Well, for cheetahs, it's like a rudder. It's like serious stuff. Serious. So that's that. Cheetahs. Cheetahs.
Matt looks like his band won Battle of the Bands, and they're surprised. He won?
What? Let's see. So back to the cheetahs. All right, we got to end the show. This is getting crazy. Matt says 1990, 1980.
If you look at the board. Look at the board. We raised $7.
Tonight I'm going to party like it's 1989. Show us some running cheetahs. What are you saying? Look at the board.
I thought we were doing a telethon. We're going so long.
Yeah, I know. We do.
$7. Thank you.
I'll be Jerry Lewis, and I'll start chain smoking and put a lot of oil in my hair.
Well, that wasn't oil. It was shoe polish.
So I want to see some running cheetahs. Okay, so anyway, there's so much more. Did you know there are cheetahs in Iran? Did you know that there are only 7,000 cheetahs left? There were about 100,000. There's some cheetahs in Iran. They're just very few ones. They're a very rare breed of cheetah.
But do they have land like this, where cheetahs are?
Iran has some. Yeah, this has some nice land there. I think they can see up to 3 miles. And unlike wolverines, the males don't take care of the kids at all. They just go off with their crew after they impregnate.
Look at them. They don't have time to watch kids.
This show is about fast animals, not my chops. It became about your chops.
Come on, Matt. Matt, you got the chops, man. You got to acknowledge them.
Super cool. All right, kids. We're going to have to end this show. Thanks for joining us today in this extremely high-tech program. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate Fleshy and Boney and all their help today.
Right when you said high-tech, you went out and it came back.
Really? God knows. Yeah. God knows why.
Stop jinxing. Just run with it.
All right, let's get on with it. Dance break time. What?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who's up next week?
There's one of those Mohawks.
Do we know? Do we know who's up next week?
For Friday, Interview Friday?
Yeah.
We're working on it, man. We're working on it.
Oh, okay.
If any of the viewers have any suggestions, please let us know.
Who it was gonna be.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Hey, congratulations to Big Guy with the Robot Brothers.
Mark Andrews, you got to see his show.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. And check it out. Giant Robot Brothers. Let's see if I can show the thing.
He's taking animation, especially the TV, to a whole
new
different
level.
place. Good for actors.
Yep. Hopefully he'll be on next Friday. We don't know. Anyway, let's get it going. Dance break time. Sorry we went kind of long today.
Yeah,
it's my fault. My fault.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you to our sponsor, Slob90X. Okay, this is Alexa Mello. She does that. She always does that at the beginning of her videos. So this is Money, Pink Floyd.
God, I love this song.
Money, get away. Get a good job with more pay and you're okay. Money, it's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. New car, caviar, 4-star daydream. Think I'll buy me a football.
smoking, bro.
She good. Wait till she gets some more electric guitar in this thing, maybe. Will there be?
Yeah.
Got a YouTube channel, Alexa Mello. She's very popular. Check her out. There we go. There we go. You didn't think that was going to happen, did you? Yeah, right. I never understood the words. Marshmallow buddy. Marshmallow buddy. Seeing double.
It's a crime. Share it fairly, but don't take a slice of my pie.
I think I knew it, astronaut.
Money, so they say, is the root of all evil today. So if you ask for rice, there's no surprise.
bringing it.
They're giving none away.
Woo! Yeah!